back to another episode of the 5060 show.
Well, we always gonna bring you 110%.
That's right, man. I'm your host, Scoobs.
And I'm Coach Rosie.
Man, back with another exciting week for football. Back from another week of birthday recovery from your birthday last week too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And how was it overall? Just the whole week. Obviously a lot of football, but again, it's your birthday too. So how was
It was
it?
a good it was a good time, I brought in 35 around my family, around my friends. That's the best way to bring it in. Like I had the opportunity to to go to the game,
Yeah.
to the Chiefs game, and I chose to have a watch party instead just because I wanted to be around my people. So, it was good. It was a good time.
That's dope. That's dope. Yes. And we had a great time. We really were together, a couple times that day.
Yeah.
Nice. Me and some of the fellas got together, what was that, Friday too, for the breakfast or whatever.
Got you. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of fun, man. A lot of football. It's pretty good, man. But again, happy birthday again. Glad you had a good one, and thank you for not going to the Chiefs game. Well, yeah, same here for me, man. I had like three or four parties we went to this past. It was a busy weekend, but um, you know, just a just a good week, good productive week. I did not get to watch too much football, but enough to just, keep this going and all. So,
Right.
but let's just get into this week 14 recap. As you can see, man, congratulations. You got the dub once again. I was catching up, but man, I made some tough picks, I guess I could say. But hey, you came up on top, man. That's just what it is. Obviously on number 13 with the Cowboys, yeah, that was one that you can call it clout, you can call it whatever you want, but I don't know what I was thinking. But hey, I thought
Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is about the third time you done said that, so this makes you a Cowboys fan. I'm just saying, like, so you can't
oh,
keep saying you can't. Well, I'm gonna just take a chance on the. You can't keep saying that every week because this is the third time you done said that. So that means you like the Cowboys, which is cool. It's
not at
fine.
all.
Like you a
Not at
Cowboys fan, it's
all.
cool. But don't keep being like, I was just giving them a chance, like over and over again. Because giving them chances over and over again means you just like them. So
Not
it's
at
what it
all.
is. That's fine. Because
Nah.
like I said, like the Cowboys is gonna choke, and we gonna talk about that later on today.
Yeah.
But they gonna choke. That's what it is.
Nah, they definitely choked, and it was really like a choking moment of why they lost. Otherwise, this conversation would have been a little different. But again, it's a team full of choke artists, and that's just what it is,
We're
man.
gonna save that. Let's save that. Save that for it's coming up. It's coming up short. We're gonna
For
save
sure.
the comments on that.
For
Let's talk
sure.
about the other games on week 14. Let's talk about
But even the Thursday night game between the Lions and the Packers, we both picked the Lions, and yes, the Lions ended up coming up with the win, 31-34. Um, that actually came down to the wire, but I don't know, man. Like I said, Lions they just came on top in the fourth quarter. They did a good job just, managing the time and because hey, Jordan Love still did his thing, man. He was doing it. He really kept them in the game, but again, like I said, a lot of times when it's a close game, again, they won by a field goal. It just came down to who got the ball last, just a good matchup. So can't really complain about that.
we were actually together when that Eagles game was on, got to catch that one a little bit. But
Oh,
what's your
so
comments on the Eagles game?
so with the Eagles game, it was still kind of crazy because again, I mean, excuse me, the Eagles only won by 4 points. Another close game, kind of similar to just like the Chiefs,
And the
but
Lions. Yeah.
Panthers were really trying to play them up, though. I mean, I was actually pretty impressed with the way that the Panthers are coming together at this time in the season. But I mean, man, like seriously, I'm looking at the stats. Jalen Hurts threw for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. Of course, rushing 1 touchdown as well. But again, and again, even Saquon Barkley still got 124 yards on the ground. Uh, you know, not not the greatest, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, they came out with the win. So that's all you can really, you know. One thing I always got to remind myself at the end of the day, this is 32 teams, 32 professional teams,
Right.
so team full of professionals at every level. So I don't want
Right.
to just,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of a trend, uh, with that the Chiefs have been, winning close games,
yeah,
and as we have discussed off camera, is like now Chiefs fans are kind of being, to me, they're being kind of bratty, like, oh, why can't we win more? Why can't we win bigger? It's like, bro, we're winning. And it's not like we're the only team doing that. Like the Lions are also winning close games,
yeah,
you know. So it's like when it comes down to it, you want to be the team who has the ball
yeah,
last,
yeah,
and you want to leave no time left, and you want to get the win and go home. Uh, it's just like it doesn't matter if you win by 40. Like you like, there's no stat after you win to be like, oh, this team won this many games by 40 or 20. No, it's a W. It's just a W. And that's all it is. And I see so many Facebook posts where people are like, man, we gotta start winning better. We gotta start controlling the game. And bro, the last 2 years has been like that.
yeah,
Like we
seriously,
won the Super Bowl just like that.
yeah,
So it's not like we just been kicking teams' butts this whole time. Like we just play it smart and we
yeah.
try to and and we just play to when the clock hits zeros, we win the game, and that's all that matters.
And so, man, very all good points, man, all good points, bro. But and that's the other thing too is I love how smart the Chiefs have been playing all season, really, because look at all the injuries going around. And again, the Chiefs are every team is still getting injuries, but again, a lot of key players are really starting to roll back in and come back from those injuries.
Right,
And but again, I feel like at this point, rather they've been talking about all summer, all fall, whatever, we really just have to, do what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? Let's not overstrain anything. Let's not just do anything crazy to create more and more injuries. We want the third Super Bowl. We
right,
want three the three-peat, I guess you can call it. So
right.
again, and again, and going back to what you were just speaking about on the Lions, it was a close game. It came down to a field goal. The Lions have not been blown, well, kind of, but they have not been blowing too many teams out lately because of how, crucial it's coming down in the season, you know what I'm saying? So the same team that they probably blew out about 20, 30, 40 points, early in the season, when they play them again, it's not going to be the same results. It could be, but, I yeah. So I just love the competition.
For sure.
Hey, and the last thing I'll speak on about the Chiefs, nobody will complain if we win the Super Bowl by
Yeah.
1 point.
Right. Yeah. It's not gonna matter. Yeah.
It's not gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? So like you mentioned, a lot of Chiefs fans are getting a little out of hand. Just they want to blow out. I get it. And again, it would be nice, would be nice to, you know, just kind of relax, with a few minutes left in the fourth quarter. But it's coming down to the last play of the game, man. I mean, but again, that's what makes good entertainment. It's what keeps people just, really at the tip of their seats just until the last play.
Right.
I love it. I love it, man. But yeah, so again, man, that's as far as Chiefs goes,
Recap. Yeah.
there's been a lot. I think people are really starting to just say it's really looking like it's going to be the Chiefs, Lions. If the Eagles can get it together a little bit more, maybe the Eagles, maybe the Bills. Of course, the Bills are in there. So it's still a little bit more football to go, man, before we can start really breaking this down. But hey, good week though, man. But again, not so good week for the Dallas Cowboys,
Get him
man.
chopping.
Speaking of the Cowboys, we're also in our time for our segment, my favorite segment of the show. It's Get 'em
Get him
Chopping.
chopping.
So the Cowboys, after their performance this past week, giving up that they would have had an opportunity to win at the end, but then once again choked it up because that's what the Cowboys do. Um, for those of you who did not see this moment in the game, uh, Cowboys had the Bengals stopped. Bengals was punting the ball. Cowboys was Cow- Cowboys was down by one. Cowboys was down by 1 point. Uh, they go for the block punt.
Yeah.
The punt gets chipped, but it goes forward downfield. The Cowboy player goes to catch the ball, touches it, but does not secure it.
Mm.
Bengals get the ball. Now, for those of you who don't understand the like rule on that, if the ball, even if it gets hit, if the ball goes forward, it's a live ball
Has to
for
not.
the return team. So if the ball gets touched, it will be a turnover on downs if the kicking team gets on it. So that's what happened. Ball comes down. He tries to catch it, doesn't get it. The Bengals get on it. They get the ball back. Next possession, uh, Joe Burrow throws a pass to Jamar Chase, scores, and they win the game. And they were, super. The Cowboys was distraught. If you want to talk about how Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons responded to this loss.
Mhm. They so again, Jerry Jones made some good points, and I mean, so did Michael Parsons. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it made sense. But again, at the end, we were just discussing this. But again, as long as they either recover the ball, I mean, man, any look a couple more yards over the ball, even would have just bounced out of bounds. But a greedy special teams player on the Cowboys, he just being a little too greedy, man. I mean, like I said, he should have just,
Get him
what I'm
chopping.
saying, just he should have just more so fell on it, but you can kind of just tell he was just trying to get to it. But anyway, but again, man, Michael Parsons, he even made a comment, I mean, it was just such a hurtful loss, felt like a playoff loss, which is also what the Cowboys are used to anyway.
Get him chopping.
But again, with Jerry Jones making his comments, I don't know, like I said, it made sense of what he was trying to explain, but you can't defend everyone, man. It was just a poor decision by that special teams player. And I mean, hey, at the end of the day, man, they all got to get them chopping. The whole Cowboys organization. Everybody in the office, everybody on the field,
Everybody,
Jerry
Cowboys
Jones.
fans,
Yeah.
I mean, Scooby's a Cowboy fan, so he got to give him chopping too.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm
everybody
a
got to give him
Cowboy.
chopping. because Scooby's a Cowboys fan and he got to give him chopping. So you got to give him chopping,
Not at
and you're gonna hit
all.
this up down because you got to give him chopping because you're a Cowboys fan.
Up
It's fine,
down.
you can wear your Chiefs hoodie, but we know that you really are a Cowboys fan.
Oh man.
You know
You
what I'm
know
saying?
what I'm saying? KC, man. Yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay right here in the Midwest, man. I can't even fool with them. That's crazy, actually. But no, anyway, but no, Dallas Cowboys, the entire organization, fans and all, you got to get them chopping.
Get him chopping.
Yeah, man. So again, man, let's get into some college football, man. Definitely breaking news. Breaking news, man. Mr. Bill Bellichick, you know what I'm saying? Head coach in the NFL for Jesus years. You know, I was what you remember we were talking earlier,
40 plus years, yeah.
40 plus years. This man is 72 years old. He just signed a
Started coaching in the league in 1975. Started coaching in the league in 1975.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But anyway, yeah, so for those that don't know, like I said, yes, he is 72 years old. He just signed a 5-year deal with North Carolina Tar Heels college football organization. So again, he will be the head coach. This is going to be interesting. Um, Especially for someone, I had to look up his stats, man, but it's funny because um the stats for the NFL and then or I guess the record for the NFL and then it has the record for NCAA. So his complete record in the NFL is 333 and 178. That is crazy. But in the in NCAA, his record is 0-0. So he's never played. So this should be interesting, man. You know, I want to know, and hopefully by our next episode next week, I want to find out what was in that contract, as far as all the agreement, what all because for a 72-year-old coach who with his with his records, and he signed a 5-year deal, 5-year contract. That's got to be some big money coming in.
From what I'm seeing is it's a 5-year deal, 3 years guaranteed with the 2-year option.
Okay. Okay.
And then he's going to be making about $10 million a year.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's kind of where that kind of is right there.
Some good money, man.
He has to stay for 3, and then it's an additional 2-year option.
So he'll be Jesus. He'll have to really think about it when he's 75. That is crazy. I mean, but again, I'm gonna say this too, and I do want to ask you a question. I love it. For me personally, learning the game of football, I mean, every week, every year, I mean, I'm always trying to learn more and more about just the game itself. But again, as a coach who is really, you're 72 years old and obviously you hung up coaching in the NFL, but this is just a proven point that when you really love something, you can really just do what you want. He has he has the stats for it, but I just love how he just keeps going. You know what I'm saying? He just
Right.
keeps going. Now the question that I have to you is, now we do realize that he's going from NFL to college, which is right underneath. Now with you coaching high school for so many years, how would you feel now? Again, obviously that's a bigger and better opportunity if you ended up coaching in college. I know that's where you're trying to gear towards anyway. But how would you feel for for you who love the game, right? Let's just say this was the only option for next year. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say they moved on to a new DC, but we still want you to coach our DBs. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, and let's just think about it. and let's just say you're like, but you could be a head coach in middle school, at the the middle school wherever, and let's throw in the money and let's just say you're making the same amount.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'll be a high school. I'll
Yeah,
be a high school assistant. Like that's not even
yeah.
because you're talking about coaching 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds. That's a whole different thing. Like that's not even no.
I know,
Like
I
yeah.
know, but I'm just trying to get a better understanding. Like, would
Now
you, for the
if
love of the game, would you?
I can go down to a middle school who was like, "We're gonna pay you 100,000," yeah, I'm gonna go do it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's literally what Bill's doing. Like he's gonna make what he was making.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like he ain't going down because he loved the game. He going down because he got an opportunity to go make some more bread. Plus plus you got to think too. He got a young girlfriend. His girlfriend's 24 years old, bro. So
seen that.
he so she probably what I'm saying. Like he probably trying to keep her and she keeping him young and all that. So he's like,
Yeah,
I got to go to work
so good.
because he left the game. I mean,
I remember.
Because the Patriots was moving away from him. So he left the game for a year. I'm sure he was looking at different opportunities, and he found the one that he was like most interested by.
So do you don't think it was nothing towards the NFL? Like, you don't think no other NFL teams would have tried to, pick him up as a head coach again?
He would have got some offers, but I think he sees more potential because here's the thing: in the NFL, like here's the thing, he'll be able to turn North Carolina around way faster than he will the Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah,
Like, so it's like because his name alone is gonna attract recruits.
yeah.
So
And
like he's gonna get a
Dion
bunch of
did,
guys
yeah, yeah,
who jump in the portal. He's gonna like they're gonna get that. They're gonna be a top ACC team like next season. Like it's
yeah.
it's like gonna happen.
They did pretty
Um,
good this season too, though. Hey,
because they're not bad right
yeah,
now.
yeah, they did pretty
It's
good.
just that Mac Brown just retired because he's old.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Hey, that was probably a perfect time. I mean, hey, but yeah, no, like I said, I just want to ask that, but again, I do wonder sometimes. Like, I get it. The Patriots moved on from Tom Brady. You feel me? And then he left and then won a Super Bowl with the next team.
right.
But yeah, that's all I was just trying to get a better understanding because like,
No, yeah. As far as the example with me, like at the end of the day, I love football, I love all that, but I gotta feed my family.
uh, yeah,
So if a
that
middle
that's
school,
that's why I
if a
threw
middle
in there
school
like if you can
job was
understand.
like, hey, come coach this eighth grade team, we'll pay you 100 grand. I'm gonna go coach the eighth grade team.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's like you don't do it for the money, but if you get opportunities to do it for the money, you gotta do it for the money.
sure. Oh,
It's
you
just
have
what
to.
it is.
I'm with that 100%. Yeah. No, no, but hey, good answer, good thoughts, man. Yeah, no, I love it though. But because again, I know you love the game, and I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't trying to ask like, oh, would you take a pay cut because you love the game?
Yeah.
Heck, no. Like, I don't even think like that, brother.
I'm not in that position to do that. No.
Yeah, nobody is nowadays, boy. But anyway, so going forward, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely a lot heating up with the college playoffs right now. So, what are your thoughts on what's going on right now with this college playoffs?
I mean, definitely exciting for this being the first year of the 12-team playoff.
Yeah,
Uh, we're coming from it being, a 14 playoffs, which got really political on who made it. Now it's kind of like more clear criteria on like who can make the 12-team playoff spots. I'm excited for it. I think this is making college football more exciting, and it gives teams an opportunity. Like it gives kind of like a March Madness type feel where it's like a team who maybe in a in a smaller conference like
Mhm.
a Boise State
Mhm.
will go and get some upsets. And it's different because like you got like Boise State, who's the number three seed, but they play in the Mountain West. They don't play, the top competition, so that's kind of the
Yeah.
piece there against them. But it's gonna be good. Like, and just speaking on that first round, when you look at the first round, because the first round games are played at the higher seeds site. So you got number five Texas, and number 12 Clemson. Clemson will be traveling from North Carolina to Austin, Texas. Which may work in both of them favor be- because Texas is a warmer state. But then you go down, you got Tennessee, which gets a little cold in Tennessee, and Ohio State,
App State. Woo.
which Tennessee is in. They are in Knoxville, and they'll be traveling to Columbus, Ohio,
Yeah.
which is a cold state.
Yeah.
And then you go now. I'll say the most the most widespread one as far as weather and distance is SMU at Penn State. SMU that's in Dallas traveling to Penn State, which is a cold state up in that upper corner of the state in that cold area of the United States. Then probably the most neutral of the games in the first round is number 10 Indiana, just going across state to Notre Dame, which is also in Indiana for those who don't know where Notre Dame is. So that's going to throw a little wrench because it's going to be some true, like, home field advantage type stuff in the football playoffs. Different from the past, where it's usually bowl games played at neutral sites. It's usually in warm places or a dome. So
Yeah.
that kind of throws a little different wrench into that first round playoff games.
Yep. Yep. I guess it's starting next week on Tuesday. And again, obviously, it comes down to who's going to win what game this first round. But again, the first one is the Fiesta Bowl, which is on that Tuesday, December 31st. Um, and again, it's going to come down to who wins what. So, um, let me see, and then even on Wednesday, you have a few more bowl games. You have the Peach Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Sugar Bowl, all on January 1st. So. You know, that's going to be interesting too, because again, it's going to come down to who wins in the first round, of course, and they're going to be playing the contenders that are basically on bye weeks right now.
Right,
So yeah,
right. Let me know. Interesting stuff. Curious to see what happens. Just looking at the bracket and just me just kind of thinking out loud. I think Georgia has a good chance to make the championship game. Just looking at, they're gonna play the winner of Indiana and Notre Dame, and then and then Georgia would then go on to play the winner of SMU Penn State, who will play Boise State. So I mean, and I like that this is like this because in true like March Madness format in December, like I mean anybody can beat anybody.
right.
So now we're actually going to be able to see what is Ashton Genty going to do when he's playing against, a power four school, SEC type defenses.
Yeah,
Is he still that same dynamic back? And for his sake, like that will really determine like his draft stock. Like if
yeah,
he goes off in the playoffs, he'll be a first round guy. He'll get taken pretty high. Um, but if he doesn't, and it's like, oh well, it was really because they didn't put the best competition. That's gonna hurt him a little bit.
yeah, yeah. Nope, yep. I can't agree more, man. I mean, it's a lot of good football right there. I think kind of agrees with you, like. I like Genty, just following him this whole season. I really wanted to be Oregon versus Boise State just because, I became such a huge fan of Genty. He's also in the round of possibly winning the Heisman, right? He's a and he's a running back, so it's just unbelievable where the game is going right now. So, but again, like I said, he definitely has to get past that tough Georgia defense. If these two teams end up playing each other, so that's where I'm at. That's what I want to see. By January 1st, and yeah, we just have to sit back and watch and see who's going to get there, man. Some good games though. But thank you for mentioning that for those that can kind of understand it a little better. Like just like March Madness, you know what I'm saying? You have bracket. I mean, you have it all just mapped out right there for you. And again, like you said, it's win or go home. So simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all just got to tune in and hey, that's just what it is. All right, man. So now we're here at week 15. A lot of good games. The Rams, the Rams are playing the 49ers in the first game. Again, man, McCaffrey's probably done for the season. They got a few banged up players. I will say, Greenlaw, the linebacker, he's making his return this week, week 15 too. So I know a lot of people, 49ers fans are excited to see what he's going to do, especially with him being injured, getting injured the saddest way possible in the Super Bowl game. So, um, but again, me and you made the smart decision on that with the Rams because the Rams just beat the Bills pretty. Woo, that was a tough game. That was a tough game, but it was a good game though, man. Beating the Bills. Let me see, man. Who else we got that's different? I chose a couple of different. So I chose the Bucks. Right there at number 9. I chose the Bucks. You chose the Chargers. I think it's a pretty fair match. We just got to see what Herbert's going to do. I've definitely been up and down about Baker Mayfield, but he's been showing out here and there, man.
Yeah, you picked the Broncos. I got the Colts.
Yeah, hey, we're gonna see if Anthony Richardson, you know, is learning more, on how to slide instead of leading in with his head.
He ain't gonna slide. He's too physical for that. He's too physical for that.
He's huge.
Oh, and then Steelers Eagles, I think is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
There's a little,
man,
it's a little drama up there in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Not too much, but AJ Brown was a little salty about not getting the ball as much. But I kind of recapped on that game. Man, he was open, like wide open a few times. So, but again, that's the name of the game, man. You gonna play up against some defenses. Unfortunately, I think he really felt some type of way because that was the Panthers defense last week. So
right.
yeah, kind of tough to not be a little salty about that. Even even going to the last game, no clue why I chose the Raiders, but again, I will say this: the Raiders are kind of making this the team just coming together has been a lot better lately. You know what I'm saying? In the from the past, even earlier this year.
Right.
The Falcons always a good team. I don't know what's going on with Kirk Cousins. We were talking about that last week, man. That was what was it like 4 picks he threw
Yeah.
last week? But that was the week. No, that was
That
the
was the week before.
week before. Yeah, I didn't even see his stats this past week, or I wonder if they have a bye week. I don't know. But but anyway, we're just going to see how this week pans out, man. We definitely made some pretty good picks. I think it's fair all around, man. I mean, it's late in the season. You have people coming back from injuries. You have a lot of people that, excuse me, you have a lot of teams that are really starting to find that chemistry, which is crazy because we're in week 15. They had the whole summer. But again, I think it still plays a major role when people are coming back from injuries. Some starters are coming back, so gotta figure that out.
Right, we're getting close to the playoff time, so teams are trying to get it right so they can, especially in the NFC, because it's gonna be a team that like makes the playoffs. That's just an okay record.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. It really is. Yeah, yeah. I will. Let me say this too. I will say the Vikings. I have to mention them, man. They're starting to find that spark again.
That's who just beat up on the Falcons last week.
Oh, okay, okay. I was either partying or I was out of it.
We know, we know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, man, thank you all for tuning in to this episode between the professionals and the college level. I mean, it's just a lot of football that still has to go on, between the NFL with the playoffs. We have the ranking, excuse me, the playoff brackets with the college football as well. So a lot of good competition. A lot of people are going to be going home or just knocked out of the playoffs. I love it, man. I love it because this is the time that most football fans are waiting on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's win or go home. All right, well, thank you all for tuning in. Again, this is the 5060 show.
but we always gonna bring you 110%.
No, thank you again. I'm Scoobs,
And I'm Coach Rosie.
and we appreciate y'all, man. We out.